Hi guys, Ben here from JGF. We're going to continue on our Python development. Last time we had a look at functions and a few advanced techniques. Today we're going to take a step back from our functions. We're going to keep building into it, but we're going to have a look at loops and how we actually work with loops. There are various types of loops, and we'll get into those, and how we actually use loops within functions. So we're going to try and create a small guess what I'm thinking kind of game that a user can play. So let's get started. Let's get straight into it. So let's go ahead and fire up Anaconda and get our visual code going for us to work with. Okay. We are. Visual code tends to remember where you were before, so it's quite nicely opened me back up where I was previously, which is quite nice. So we can just keep going. So here's our little function that we had. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new file. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it unit test. So you can call it whatever you like, but this is just for my own reference, so I know what this is for. This is for our, so as before, I'm going to put in my comment. Great. So as I mentioned, there are various types of loops in Python. Today we're going to have a look at the for and the while loop. The for loop, it tends to go through each one of the elements within what we call an array or a number sequence, and it's then going to iterate through those and come back with a thing. So the first function, the first thing we're going to look at, the first thing we're going to learn is something called range, right? So here we go. Here's the range function. So if we just have a look at what that says. So range is return an object that produces a sequence of integers, numbers, we looked at that last time, that start from, that's inclusive of, to the exclusion by a step, right? So if we go ahead here, so I'm just going to restart this console. So it opens up my conda, and I'm just going to type Python because I want to experiment with this. So you guys can see there's this little panel here. I'm just going to make it bigger so I can have just a console to myself. So we're in Python. So if we type range, and let's say in range, I want to say 2. So 2 is my integer, and you can see it's producing, gives me an output that says 0, 2. So how can we test that out? So we're going to use for our purposes, and we're going to use our print command. So here we go. So it's quite simple. We have the for command. For, and we're going to say number in range of 2. Right, nice and easy. It's easy to understand, it's easy to read. Now, like we did with our, when we created our function, when we had our define, we're going to do this. What that says is anything after this point is going to be encased within this for loop. And the only way Python knows how to put things within another within this function or within this loop is by having that indentation. So you guys can see here there's an indentation here. So it's not right under the F, it's actually under the N for us, for a number. So everything within, as long as it's indented, anything within that is going to loop through and loop through. So that's what is going to run, that's the area that it's going to run in. So let's say what we're going to do is, I'm going to just write another little bit of a comment. I'm going to say everything, so everything in the indent will be in the loop. Just to give myself an example, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to print out the number. There we go, print number. Quite simple, quite easy. That's all that's going to do. Now, as soon as I press backspace and I actually kill that, and you guys can see, like we had in our function back here, right, there's that line. Right? That line is telling me that anything within that line is enclosed within this for loop, which is quite cool, right? So now something I was giving comments on is to remind people in Visual Code, as long as there's that white dot, you guys can see right there, there's that white dot on my script. What that's saying is it's not saved, right? So if I go ahead and run this here, I'm just going to exit out of here, exit out of our console. Just clear it, so Control L or clear works to clear the console. So just we have a new console. So if I run this right now, so if I go Python loop testing, it's not going to do anything because there wasn't anything before that was saved, right? So I'm going to have to save this. I'm going to just go here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control S. You can go File Save if you want to, but all I'm doing is I'm using the shortcut here, Control S, CTRL and S. Now if I run it, it should tell me, right? So anything within that bit is being done, and what we're getting in is 0 and 1. So 0 and 1 is two numbers, so we've asked for a range of 2. And it's giving us 0 and 1. We change this. Right, let's go ahead and change it. Let's make it 3. Now again, I'm going to press Control S to save. We get 0, 1, 2. We get our 3 numbers. So that's great. So here's our first loop. So all that's doing is it's going through and it is going through this loop and repeating and repeating. Okay? Now, that's quite cool. We can actually use this. The next bit we're going to learn is slightly different from looping. I'm going to teach you a new type of variable. So we looked at the 2 different types of variables in our original script here. We looked at numbers, or what we call integers, and we looked at strings, characters, or what we were calling as sentences, right? So words. We're going to teach you a new one. It's called a Boolean. Booleans are true or false, so they can only be true or false. That's quite simple. And how we have true or false is true, right? That's true or false. Spelled exactly like that. Now it's important to note that the capital T and the capital F are important. If it wasn't a capital, you can see that Visual Code hasn't actually turned that blue. It means it's not a Boolean value. It is just a variable name, right? So it's very important for you to know. Okay, so we can create a new variable here. Now we're not going to call it got it right, and I'm going to say it's false to start with. Okay, so here we go. Got it right is false, and what we're going to do is we're going to say we want the user to guess a word. Quite simple. We just want them to guess the word. Now we've got our user input function here, right? It will capture some user input. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually make some alterations to this user input. Now I don't want to mess up what we have here, so I'm going to actually create the function inside of here in a minute. But let's start off with just basically having it as within our script here. The word I'm going to get them to guess, I'm going to call it word. Guess word. It's going to be hello. Now, importantly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this capital. Right? You'll see in a minute why that's important. I'm going to make that capital. And inside of here, instead of print number, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my user input. I'm going to remember myself. It's input, and there's going to be a string, right? Now, another thing to remember is it's got to be within the speech marks for it to be recognized by input. Otherwise, it's going to think it's a variable that you're entering. So it's got to be within those speech marks. You've got to put speech marks. So I'm going to go user word is equal to input. And here, guess the word. Quite nice and simple. Right. Guess the word. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is what we call an if statement. An if statement allows us to determine, just like it's in the English language, if if something is correct, if something is true, then do something about it, right? So in this scenario, what we're going to say is if guess word, we're going to do a double equal, right? A double equal, unlike in our previous example where we had the single equal says telling Python whatever is on the right-hand side of that equal sign, put it into the left-hand side. So it'll take the data that we're entering and it will put it into our variable, into our cup that we were calling it before, right? So it's going to take this and it's going to put it in here. Now, what we want to do with this if statement is we're going to want to check. We want to check whether the user got the word right. What the if statement will let us do is it will allow us to check if the user got it right. So here we go. So we're going to go if the guess word is equal to the user word, then we want to do something about it. And the thing we want you to do is we want you to take got it right equal true because they got it right. Right? So it's nice and simple, just like that. That's all it is. So that's our loop. Now we're only going to give them 3 guesses to get the word right. And lastly, what we're going to do here is we're going to go print you got the word, and then we're going to got it right. So it's going to say you got the word, true or false. Quite simple, right? Nice and easy. Just saved it. So here we go. Let's run our Python. Right? Guess the word. My. You. And let's try hello. As you can see now, I did type hello, right? But it's telling me that I got the word wrong. And the reason why it says it's got the word wrong is Python likes to be case sensitive. So it likes to know capitals. So if I've got a capital in this, it's going to make sure that the words are exactly the same. So the capital must exist. So as you can see, I did guess the word hello, but Python's telling me that I got it wrong. Now the important thing about Python is it does like capitals, so it is very what we call case sensitive. Because there's a capital H on this hello, it's expecting to see a capital H on the answer. So here in our bit of code, it is checking exactly the same. So they have to be exactly the same. So let's test that, right? We go through this now. Of course, we have 3 guesses. We're going to go, I'll type in a couple of wrong ones, and then I'm going to type my correct one in. This time I get, you got the word true, right? Of course, if this wasn't someone like us who's learning Python and understands Boolean, they're not really going to know what that means. So we're going to have to make it a little bit different. Also, the other thing is you notice here, we're not actually telling them that they got the word wrong or that they got the word right. So there's a couple of alterations that we want to make. What we're going to do is we're going to stop here for this video today. I want you to stick some comments in the comment section below. I want you to give it a go. Try to figure out a way to return some more information to tell the user if they got it wrong, right? And what to do here. Instead of saying it's true, we want to be able to output something else. So your 2 challenges today for the next step is to try and figure out those things. In our next lesson, what we'll do is we'll pull this all together and we will convert it into a function so that we can use it within a bigger part of code. Well done. If you have comments, stick it in the comment section below. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. If you like the video, of course, we love that thumbs up. So give us a thumbs up. There is a GitHub page that's been set up. So all the code will be put onto GitHub. If you guys want to get hold of it or use it, if you got, again, want to subscribe to our GitHub page as well, please do. Well done. See you guys later. Keep coding. So as you can see, I did guess the word hello, but Python's telling me that I got it wrong. Now the important thing about Python is it does like capitals, so it is very what we call case sensitive. Because there's a capital H on this hello, it's expecting to see a capital H on the answer. So here in our bit of code, it is checking exactly the same. So they have to be exactly the same. So let's test that, right? We go through this now. Of course, we have 3 guesses. We're going to go, I'll type in a couple of wrong ones, and then I'm going to type my correct one in. This time I get, you got the word true, right? Of course, if this wasn't someone like us who's learning Python and understands Boolean, they're not really going to know what that means. So we're going to have to make it a little bit different. Also, the other thing is you notice here, we're not actually telling them that they got the word wrong or that they got the word right. So there's a couple of alterations that we want to make. What we're going to do is we're going to stop here for this video today. I want you to stick some comments in the comment section below. I want you to give it a go. Try to figure out a way to return some more information to tell the user if they got it wrong, right? And what to do here. Instead of saying it's true, we want to be able to output something else. So your 2 challenges today for the next step is to try and figure out those things. In our next lesson, what we'll do is we'll pull this all together and we will convert it into a function so that we can use it within a bigger part of code. Well done. If you have comments, stick it in the comment section below. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. If you like the video, of course, we love that thumbs up. So give us a thumbs up. There is a GitHub page that's been set up, so all the code will be put onto GitHub. If you guys want to get hold of it or use it, if you want to subscribe to our GitHub page as well, please do. Well done. See you guys later.